We've had so many good fantasy football videos, and now it's time for the ultimate one. This is the #1 best strategy to win your 2025 fantasy football draft. If you're in a draft against me, which you can be for free in the Discord, don't use this strategy because you'll win. You'll beat me. Although I'll be using it too, so you're probably we'll be toast. At least we'll be burning together. Smash the like and subscribe button. We're talking about the group of running backs, the group of tight ends, the group of quarterbacks, the group of wide receivers, dead zones to avoid. What round do you target each position? All of that and more in this video. All encompassing the #1 fantasy football video on YouTube to prepare you for your draft. Let's go ahead and talk about quarterbacks first. Quarterbacks is very, very simple. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is probably the most undervalued quarterback. If you can get him in your league, you should. His touchdown rate on the ground is a guaranteed 6-point floor in your lineup before he even throws the ball once in your fantasy football week. Look at that, 0.9 rushing touchdown per game rate over the past 3 seasons. Something that none of these other elite option quarterbacks have ever displayed. Josh Allen's been close 1 year of his career. Now, between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, I prefer Josh Allen. Josh Allen might have a lower floor, or might have a lower ceiling, but his floor is definitely higher. He's a bit more of a safer pick. Taking a look at what Josh Allen averaged, he's pretty much around 23 points per game. Very, very solid numbers. Then you have Lamar Jackson, who Lamar Jackson can average 25, 27 points in a season. We saw it in 2019, we saw it in 2024, but the floor is there, injury concerns, and he might be around 20 points per game. Either way, it's kind of throw a dart on the dartboard. I love Lamar, love Josh Allen, love Jalen Hurts. I think Daniels is a bit overvalued, guys. Like, he's QB6. QB6 in 2024. Obviously, you would expect he improves, but CJ Stroud didn't improve, did he? So it's a whole different ballgame right here. I like the other 3 options. I think they're a lot safer. Now, if you miss on that first tier of elite quarterbacks, Joe Burrow is the safe option. Just realize there's no rushing upside. You're going for the passing touchdown rate, which the passing touchdown rate was one of the best in the league in 2024. So it's solid. Mahomes hasn't been fantasy relevant for 2 years, but obviously he was very fantasy relevant the years prior. If you think he can replicate that, then go ahead. Personally, I'm not taking much Joe Burrow. I'm not taking much Mahomes. I'm dipping into this next tier of guys. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Bo Nix. All 3 of these guys are very good quarterback options to take for your team. Baker Mayfield, his passing touchdown already was up there with Joe Burrow. Baker Mayfield was at 2.4 passing touchdowns per game. If Godwin comes back sooner rather than later, it'll be up there again. Kyler Murray, the offense is going to improve. MHA year 2. McBride's receiving touchdown rate is going to go up. Therefore, Kyler Murray's passing touchdown rate is going to go up. And Kyler Murray says he plans to rush the ball a bit more. I love Kyler Murray. Bo Nix, listen, he's the Walmart version of Jaden Daniels. He was QB8, 2 spots after Jaden Daniels, and he's going 40 spots, 50 spots later in ADP. So I love Bo Nix's value as well. If you miss on those guys, you're going to be double dipping. Like, I don't mind taking any of those guys as your single quarterback, and I consider them elite quarterbacks. After that, I'd probably double dip. You got Justin Fields, you got Dak Prescott, you got maybe Goff, who was QB7, McCarthy, Penix, that's fine. You got Scam Darnold. Scam Darnold finishes as the QB9. Surprisingly, QB9, the 2.1 passing touchdowns per game. Insane year. JSN, Cooper Kupp now. Sam Darnold would be very good value as the QB9, but 18 points per game is nothing to laugh at, but it's more of a streamer rather than anything, but he can return value, so just keep that in the back of your head. That's my quarterback strategy. Running back strategy is a bit different. A couple of different options. If you want to go elite running back, you can, but you're going to have to play the middle rounds very, very carefully because in round 3, there's not many great wide receiver options, so it's tough. I like the running backs in round 3 more than the wide receivers. But looking at running back, if I'd avoid McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey's a landmine. In a best ball draft, go ahead and take McCaffrey. You're trying to win a tournament. I get it. The ceiling's there. And if he plays, he's going to be good. But you don't want to lose a redraft league. You're just going to get bullied. So it's not worth it. Taking a look at the other guys, Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon, all fine. I love Devon Achane. I like Genty. Derrick Henry, not super enticing to me in a PPR format. Now, in a PPR format, he was still dominant. 19.8 points per game, but I don't like relying on the touchdown rate of 1 touchdown per game. Bit too scary for my liking, but this is the Ravens' year to try and win the Super Bowl, so Derrick Henry still should be good. One of my favorite running back picks is Chase Brown. If you're going to be able to get Chase Brown on the board, 20th in ADP, I'm talking about you're in the middle of round 2, it's time. It's time to roll the dice. Chase Brown, he will be an elite running back in 2025. The Bengals are saying that. They get rid of Zach Moss. Second half of the year, weeks 8 to 18, Chase Brown averaged 20 plus points per game. Yeah, it's all up here in my head, trust. You got Jonathan Taylor kind of sliding down draft boards as Bucky and Chase Brown rise up. But if Jonathan Taylor is available to you at 23, the receiving upside isn't super exciting. The touchdown rate might come down because they're not going to be scoring touchdowns, but this whole offense should funnel through JT, so he could be a viable fantasy back. I don't mind it, but it's a bad offense, not super exciting. Be careful with Bucky Irving because he had a 50-50 split with Rachaad White, even the final half of the season. True 50-50 split, even if he was way better. This is what I like doing. This is my favorite tier, right? My favorite strategy is going with 2 running backs, round 3, round 4, and then round 6. So 3 running backs through those rounds. Let me tell you why. Breece Hall is very undervalued. Let's just say you do this. Let's say you take Breece Hall, who they have at 32. Now, this is their rankings, not their ADP, but I know that that lines up pretty well. So let's say you take Breece Hall right here. You're in round 3. End of round 3, you take Breece Hall. Then you go round 4, round 5, you take James Cook. You have 2 running backs, Breece Hall, James Cook. Do you expect either of them to be top 4, top 5 running backs at the end of the year? Not really, right? So your upside, I'd argue that you do have pretty good upside because Breece Hall, his first 2 rookie seasons, RB7, or first 2 rookie seasons, first 2 years, RB7, RB6. James Cook, I'm a little concerned about his touchdown rate coming down and regressing, but James Cook is nobody to laugh at either, right? So if you went Breece Hall, James Cook, you got some solid guys to start every single week, and then you wait. And since you're not cemented in a running back, and running back's in an important position where if you get injured, you still need a second one, and the waiver wires are dry. Let me just tell you real quick with running back, after Tony Pollard and Brian Robinson Jr., all the running backs are dust. Like, there's some dart throws, Travis Etienne, maybe, Scatabo, maybe, Javonte Williams, I really like. But that's why, that's all I'm going to talk about for after those Tony Pollard and Brian Robinson Jr., because it's dusty. So you got to get 3+ running backs. I like getting 4, honestly. I like getting 3. I like getting 3 good, solid running backs prior to this cliff at around 90 and ADP. So I like going with 2 guys that are mid-tier, Breece Hall, James Cook. Pair him up with a rookie, somebody with upside, RJ Harvey, Caleb Johnson, even somebody like Isaiah Pacheco, Brian Robinson Jr.'s projectable volume. So I like going 3 RBs through this massive cliff fall off. And then the later rounds, you can catch up with wide receiver, catch up with whatever you want to do, and then throw some darts later on in your draft. So that's my running back strategy that'll win you your league. Wide receiver, I don't really have a strategy. The strategy is get the elite quarterback before the tier drop off after Bo Nix. Get the 3 running backs before the tier drop off after Brian Robinson Jr. and Tony Pollard. So we'll come back to wide receiver. Tight end, it's kind of the same thing as quarterback. These 4 tight ends, Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, George Kittle, you can take any one of them and be happy. It's a good pick. Don't do bully tight end. Just don't. If you go Laporta, you can potentially pull off bully tight end, but it's probably still not worth it. So Sam Laporta is an interesting one. Sam Laporta, obviously, he was tight end 3 his rookie season. Disappoints. 3rd round pick in 2024 in most people's drafts. Loses people money. So now he's at 66 because people hate him. I think Sam Laporta is a very good value. If you get any of these 4, this is a whole tier, right? Like Bowers, McBride, Kittle, S tier, Laporta, S minus. Then there's a tier drop off. Njoku, Kelsey, Hawkinson, I honestly think are overvalued. I think there's better strategy later. My strategy later is similar to the running backs. Double dip. Pair up. My favorite pairing is Tucker Kraft, who finished as, he had 10 plus points a game. About 10 points a game. And he had 2.63 yards per out run. So he was a very effective tight end. Just wasn't getting much volume. Hopefully he's more involved now. Again, last year he was taking the job from the injured Luke Musgrave. So he wasn't, he was kind of a breakout, to be honest. Now it's kind of his job. So Tucker Kraft will score points early in the year. Pair him up with these insane rookie tight end values. Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland. Pair them up. Even if you go dusty Mark Andrews and you rely on Mark Andrews early in the year when Isaiah looks like he's missing time to have a high touchdown rate, which, does he have a high touchdown rate? Let's see. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Yes, high touchdown rate, 0.6 touchdowns per game. Pair him up with one of these rookies and you are set, smooth sailing. Or you can chase some higher upside guys. I do like Isaiah Likely. I do like Kyle Pitts. I like Jonnu Smith. I like Zach Ertz. Those are guys to catch up at tight end. My strategy with wide receiver, I said I didn't have one, but I do have one. My strategy is to work around the other 3 strategies, right? So you're doing the quarterback strategy, you're doing the running back strategy, you're doing the tight end strategy. And in between all of that, you're mixing in the wide receivers. So that's the approach with wide receiver here. Go ahead and find where the dead zones are. Like, look at the guys you don't like. Like, I don't like this tier of guys. I'm not a huge fan of Higgins, Tyreek. I actually am a big fan of Tyreek in best ball, not redraft. T. Higgins, Tyreek, MHA, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams. I wouldn't want any of those 5 guys on my on my fantasy team this year in my redraft league. So I would avoid having to take wide receiver there, and I would incorporate one of the other strategies in that range, which is why I look at the ADPs. I like a lead quarterback there instead. Then you look at tiers like, oh, Mike Evans, I like that. I mean, nobody else really, to be honest. But there is a tier of guys around here that I like Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley, Josh Downs, Godwin. I like that group of wide receivers where I'd probably be going wide receiver there instead of running back. So plan accordingly and just work around the other 3 strategies with wide receiver. That is the best draft strategy anyone will ever tell you this year for playing your fantasy football league. Smash like and subscribe and please help out our small channel. We'll grow bigger and your pockets will grow bigger. Your pockets will grow bigger as well. Thanks for watching.